Hey, afternoon everyone. Just sitting here marveling at last year's heifer calf out of number 3. Her mom's actually right here. It never ceases to amaze me how these calves grow up, and it just seems like overnight you just start realizing how mature they are, how mature they look, how good they look. This heifer calf was just scraggly, and like most calves, their fur's all rough, and she still has some rough fur on her, but the fur's all rough. It's always standing up everywhere. They're just kind of in that awkward phase, and it's tough to get a good idea on if it's going to be a really good looking animal or not, particularly the females. Those young steers, those young bulls, they all have a look about them that you can really kind of tell that they look like a smaller version of a bull. Her older sister behind her there eating that tree, man, she looks really good, and she looked really good very quickly. So I was kind of expecting that I was going to keep her. Oh, here comes Mac. We're doing a video, so you got to come over, don't you? Yeah, 31-21. So she's over 2 years old now. She looked really good pretty quick. So I basically knew I was going to probably keep her back and breed her this year. But her younger sister right there, again, the verdict was out on her. She was kind of, I honestly thought she was going to be a terminal animal, just because, like I said, she just didn't have that really good looking. I just couldn't picture her as a really good looking, gorgeous, well put together cow. And she's starting to prove me wrong. Like I said, it seems like almost overnight I just started realizing how good she looked. She was really starting to slick off. Her udder's developing. She's really getting that elegant face. And her mom right here is honestly one of my favorite cows. She was number 3 for a reason. In a herd of 3 when I first started, she was number 3 for a reason. She was the most timid. She was the most weak. She caused me the most problems. She had those issues, as a mother, kind of being a little bit bully to her calf. I thought she looked she's very skinny. She's very petite, but I was never a fan of her hair coat. But she has become one of honestly, I'd say my second favorite cow. Her udder's looking really, really good. This year, she was a great mom. She slicked off first. She became the slickest and the shiniest out of all of them. Again, she's petite, so she's small, so she doesn't require a whole lot. But just looking at her, she's very feminine, aren't you? And she's friendly enough. She'll let me pet her when she wants to, but it's pretty easy to pressure her to get her to move. So she's always running through the chute system very, very well. I'm just a big fan of this Dexter cow here, and there was this was her last year, her last opportunity to be a good mom for me, because I've had 2 years of trouble with her, and she was a great mom this year. And like I said, her 2 female offspring that are starting to get older and mature, I'm going to keep one of them back and have her bred this year. And the other one, the yearling that I was talking about at the beginning of this video, was going to be a terminal calf. I was going to process her along with the 2 steers, and I think I'm going to breed her and list her for sale. So if she's anything like her mom, and if she's anything like her older sister, she's going to, by the time she's over 2 years old, getting ready for breeding it'll be next July, she's going to be looking gorgeous, and she's gonna make a great animal for someone, especially if she cycles. That's the other big thing I like about number 3 and her offspring, is they cycle really, really hard. They are always on time. Every 21 days on the dot, they're coming into heat. They come back into heat very early after they have their calf, or I guess their mom has, but the mom has been successfully bred 3 times now. All 3 times that I've attempted to get her mom pregnant, number 3 here, she's gotten pregnant. So, that tells me that she's in really good health, along with that shiny hair coat she has going on. Just tells me that everything's working. Everything she is getting out here is what she needs. Number 3 has quickly become number 2. I mean, she's always going to be number 3 now, but she's number 2 in my heart, and that's only because that Abby over there is just such a good docile mama cow who eats everything, who puts on a lot of weight, and has thrown 2 really good looking steer calves that I'm excited to get finished out and get processed and see how they turn into food animals. But yeah, so 3121 here again, offspring of number 3. She was 2 years old this April, and she is going to be traveling along with the other 3 to the breeder this year to get AI'd. So things are a little different with the AI process this year. I'm using someone different. We're using a different protocol. It's in a different environment. Those things, all of those things combined, along with her first time, honestly, I don't have super high hopes for any of the 4 girls this year to be successfully bred on the first attempt. But I don't have much of a choice. I had to change things up this year because of circumstances with the vet. So, all right, let's talk about the pasture real quick. As you can see, there's a lot of mature stuff that they're in right now, and I hope the camera picks up on this, but what a difference, right? They have been starting down by the tree line. This has been over the course of, this is day 4. They've been marching down, getting about 2,800 square feet twice a day. I have not been back fencing because they had to get back there to the tree line off to the west for shade. So there's definitely a little bit more trample effect the further west we go, just naturally from them, walking back and forth to the shade and then grabbing bites of stuff that maybe they didn't get the first time, or trampling down a lot more. But, this is a chicory, bolted chicory, and you can see kind of single flowers here and there, but they love this stuff. When this chicory flowers, they absolutely love it in its green stage. So they have completely destroyed all of this chicory trying to reproduce, which I'm fine with. They don't, the leaves, these big broad leaves, I see them graze very little, and being big and broadleaf like this, they really do kind of eat up an area that could be grass or could be clover. So I like to keep it as knocked back as I can, even though it's a great food source for the girl. I'm completely fine with the fact that they have basically stopped a lot of this from reproducing. When this officially dies off, it's going to become really stemmy, really pokey, really sticky, and it's going to sticky in the sense of like pokey in the eye, pokey in the nose. So it's really going to diminish the grazing come fall when you've got a 4-foot tall, crusty, crunchy stick that's basically gonna poke the girl. So I am gonna come through and mow 1 foot to 2 foot high, staying above the level of the good grass that could be starting to regrow. And again, that's because you really want to get that done within 3 days, because it takes about 3 days, 2 to 3 days, for that grass plant to start regrowing again. And once that grass blade, that grass plant is starting to regrow, the last thing you want to do is clip it again or graze it again, because it has put all of its energy reserves, everything that it has in its roots, everything that it is going to give to kickstart that grass plant to start growing again. It's essentially dumped all of that to start that process over. If you clip it, if you graze it, before it's fully recovered, then you've really set that grass plant back. So the other thing they did in some of this area that was very mature, a lot of this forage that was very mature, you can see here, is they just trampled it. They laid a lot of it down. And I'm not mad about this. The cows never acted hungry. Like I said, 2,800 square feet twice a day with my herd size was enough to really make a positive impact on the ground, really knock down this stuff. I mean, I'll walk over there in a bit, but you can just see how tall, let's do it now. You can just see how tall and how thick this stuff is that they have been going through. The stuff that they didn't eat, they just trample down on the ground, and that's a great soil builder. That living mulch to help keep the soil cool, help keep the soil covered. It's great for the insect life. It's great for the plant. It's great for the soil. I'm not bummed about the fact that, you know, a lot of this stuff is laying on the ground. Yeah, this is great. This is a lot of good stuff. You know, and this pasture's not going to be grazed again until late fall. What do you think, bud? One last shot. Say bye to everybody. Say bye to everybody. He's looking good too. I always love this time of year. I mean, the flies and the bugs and the heat, and you know, that always worries me with the cattle, but man, they always look the best. They're shiny, they're soft. They're definitely healthy with all the things that they have to eat. And they love their trees. They are gonna absolutely lose their mind tomorrow morning when I move them into this area. There's gonna be so many bushes and trees and things for them to eat. They're gonna be in heaven. All right, guys, any questions, let me know. We'll catch you at the next one. So the other reason that I am allowing them continued access to this area, even though I don't want to, along with the shade, is I'm trying to get as many days as possible out of what I have left out here before they go to the leased pasture up the road. We're gonna be breeding here in a few weeks, and so I don't wanna haul them to the new leased pasture until they have been at the breeders. So I'm just trying to utilize, this is all forage, this is all an area that they would not normally graze. Hi, mama. So this is all an area that they would not normally graze. You know, I don't usually ever open this up to them, this trail system. You know, it's just used to get them up to the barn. So why not take advantage of having a lot of forage here to help me get those handful of extra days that I need to buy some extra time before the cows have to leave.